Terrence Pennington.
Terrence, we've both been kind of having I'll call it a going through it type weekend.
Dude, dude. I'm okay, guys. I'm gonna be on standby mode for
Yeah, Terrence
it's
is on what we like to call a pharmaceutical induced autopilot.
okay, that's for the Patreon. Come on.
No, welcome to the Danswers podcast. I am really excited to hear your guys' questions. Ask them live in the chat if you would like. If you have any questions that you would like to pull up in perpetuity, or what do they call it? See, my words are all messed up. If you have any questions that you want us to answer but you can't make it to the live, you can always email me at dancerspodcast@gmail.com. Now let me get right into what I wanted to talk about, because I had a show last night. I've been going what I like to call show mode, Terrence.
Oh.
I've been going up to San Francisco. I did a San Francisco show recently where I drove up to San Francisco. It took me 2 hours to do the show, and I drove straight back.
Okay.
12 hours of driving in one day.
Okay.
It was brutal. I didn't like it, and it made me feel bad.
Yeah.
Now, yesterday we have a show, and it was at one of my favorite venues. It's called Rec Room in Huntington Beach.
Okay.
The people who came out to the shows, my followers, let me just say this, and this is not me. I don't like kissing butt here. And you know what? If I'm gonna actually say the opposite, follower. If you get a little nuts out there, okay. If you act out of sorts, if you get out of pocket, I'm gonna hold you accountable.
Dude.
You understand me? A lot of people like to go on. A lot of people like to go on their little TikToks and podcasts. And they like to go, "Oh my God, you are all perfect and the best." No. Listen, I'm gonna shoot you straight. It's not that you're bad, but I'm not going to talk to you like a baby. Do you understand me?
So you're calling out one of your followers?
No. I'm saying this. I'm saying I don't kiss. I try not to kiss ass, especially with people that I like and that like my stuff. But I will say this: everyone who came out that was like we came out to see you from the internet were awesome. Okay. They came up after the show. It was a fun show. They come up after the show. It was great talking to all of them. Every single one of them. I have to say, I'm very lucky to have curated followers, which are a group of people that are sort of in the know. They get what I do, and they're not mean, rude people. Now, there was a guy at the show who, in the middle of our friend Eli Lutsky's set, while Eli is talking about being Jewish, just screamed out, "Let's go, Brandon." Now, let me say this. Comedy clubs, from the dawn of time to the end of time, have been places where dumb people will yell things, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a space for those people. Now, you shouldn't do it. I don't like it when you do it. I don't really care even what you yell exactly. I don't like it when you yell at the show. But particularly when my friend Eli is doing jokes about being Jewish and then you yell out, "Let's go, Brandon," you're sort of making a statement that my political ideology is opposed to you saying I am Jewish. Seems to be a bit of a strange move.
Yeah. I don't look. I love Brandon too. Come on.
No.
Come on, guys. I love Brandon.
No.
I don't know.
You're just going to offer that to the podcast.
That's it, dude. I'm telling you right now. I'm going to tell you guys right now. You wouldn't believe the weekend that I had. You wouldn't. Everything that you said, I caught like half every other word. That's what I caught.
That's okay. Hey, Terrence, sit back for a second while I continue the story.
Yeah.
So I go up to Eli after, and I'm like, "Dude, like, I'm sorry," but he ended up being so funny afterwards that it like worked out. But let me just make a direct statement to the people in the audience. I hope you know better. I hope you know better than to yell something at a comedy show. And I think I'll level with you. I think that the amount of crowd work clips that are on the internet where a person in the audience will yell and a comedian will disparage that has become rampant.
Yeah.
Some would say it's become a scourge on the internet, right?
Absolutely.
And I I like that. Listen, I like anytime comedy becomes popular and stuff. But what I think it's done is it's put in audiences' heads, oh, yelling at a show is good.
Yeah.
Yelling at a show is a good thing to do. Now, I'm not like a lot of comics who will treat you like a war criminal if you do that, right? There are comics who will kind of like go nuclear and be like, I can't believe you would do. You're the dumbest. I don't think that. I think you're very misguided if you're doing that. And I think if that is what you do, if you've done this multiple times, if you've like ruined live performances of any kind like that,
keep doing it.
I would suggest, well, in a way,
no.
I would heavily suggest that you find an outlet for that, because that means I really do think it's a bad output, right? But that is a way your brain is basically telling you I have the impulse to create. And however, the impulse to create can also be an impulse to destroy depending on how you manifest that. You know what I mean?
Look, you're saying a whole lot of mumbo jumbo. Just guys, don't heckle. I don't know why. That did not take that long to get to that point.
No, I'm saying if you do heckle, I'm speaking to the hecklers right now, okay? I'm speaking directly to you. I'm in your living room. I'm saying, listen to me. Find a creative output. Because I think a lot of hecklers just need a creative output. I think a lot of hecklers think that they're funny and they think that what they say is, and that's fine. Yeah. And I think they should find something to do with that.
Or if you do heckle, you got to make sure that's a banger, bro.
Oh, yeah.
You got to make sure it's a banger.
But here's the thing. Every one of them, every heckler thinks it's a banger.
Everyone.
Every heckler thinks this one's going to level the... When that guy said, let's go, Brandon, he was like, everyone's going to start cheering for me. It was literally the exact opposite. Actually, in a weird way, it actually did make the show... it didn't make it better that he said that, but everyone in the show kind of congealed to be like, because even if you are a like Republican or a Trump guy, even they're like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Not here. Come on.
You thought we were just gonna get the context of
right.
You had a whole vision in your head.
That guy had a whole vision in his head.
You had a whole narrative of what's gonna happen, the steps, and then it just all fell apart.
Yeah. Terrence, I want, but the shows were fun. I have upcoming dates actually in Des Moines, Kansas City, and I got a beautiful bit. I love places that are like confusing because they're the names of other places in the country. Dayton, Kentucky. I have shows in Dayton, Kentucky, which is actually in Cincinnati. Yeah. So I'm going to put those dates in the link tree when I get them, but I just want you guys to know, be on the lookout for those dates. Also, check out the link tree in the description here. Now, Terrence, I want to talk a little bit about your weekend before we get into questions. Oh my God! Come on. Okay, first, let me tell the listeners we've spent a good chunk of the day together, and I've really enjoyed my time.
Yeah,
right up to the microphone, baby.
Thank you. What do you want? Ask some questions. What do you want? What do you want?
No, you're being defensive now.
I'm not being defensive.
You're being a bit defensive.
I'm not being.
I just asked a question about your weekend.
It was great. I had a party. I had a single party, just me.
Terrence, folks, if you don't know, is notorious for having a one-man party.
I'm notorious. That is my bread and butter.
You're a one-man party kind of guy.
One-man party at work.
Yeah.
Weekday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whenever the chance for a party arises, I'm not missing not one meal, bro.
And it doesn't. You'll show up to the party and be like, "Oh, there's no one here but me." Don't matter.
That's right.
Don't matter, baby.
Hey, I show up home. I just walk in. Oh, nobody's here.
Oh, no one's here. That's crazy. I guess I'll have to do everything myself.
I guess my roommates will just have to find me passed out. That is wild. Oh my goodness.
Terrence, we're glad you're healthy. Now let's get into some questions, buddy.
Actually, our lady here. Is this right here?
What is that?
Who is the mascot doll?
Oh, that's great. So actually, this brings me into something that's happening. Let you guys into my life a little bit. Me and Terrence actually had an argument about this. I am really bad at cleaning. I'm bad at cleaning. I'm bad at the nooks and crannies. I don't think my apartment is like filthy by any means. There's nothing rotting in my apartment, but things are a bit out of sorts. The dusting and stuff. I'm not good at. So I'm having my very good friend and very lovely all around person, Sarah, clean my apartment. She's right over there playing with bunny ears, and Sarah makes these dolls. And I don't even know if I can say the name of them on the.
I thought about that.
Yeah. C-U-M rag dolls are what they're called, but they're very cute and they're very nice. And she makes them by hand. And Sarah, what's the Instagram? Sarah Cummings. So check out Sarah Cummings on Instagram for the dolls. Great question. Now let's get into another one.
Let's see.
I like the idea of making this the mascot. I like the doll a lot.
Yeah. You got it, guys. Get into this, man.
Now let's get into something.
All right.
I see a question that starts with my boyfriend. Those are always bangers.
Oh yeah. I put that in the special thing right here. Okay.
Okay, go ahead, read it.
Okay, from Miss Jones. My boyfriend and I were going to a Simpsons themed burlesque party.
Wait. Whoa. Stop right there.
Oh God. What?
A Simpsons themed burlesque party.
Look, I have my opinions about burlesque shows that maybe people aren't.
No, go ahead, Terrence. Share your, because I might disagree, and that'll make good content.
I don't get it.
What don't you get about a burlesque show?
It's like
what is there not to get? What is there not to get?
I don't know. It's just I don't know. I'm not
ladies.
Yeah.
Dancing around. Alluding to a time period where you would not have been having a lot of fun. What is there not to love? Now tell me, at what point in that equation?
I'd go to I don't know. It's just that it's like those type of things where it's like it sounds hype. It sounds like hype. It's like, oh man, but then you go and it's just.
I disagree. I think that I've been to 2 burlesque performances. One of them, I will say, was a bit lackluster. You know, it was like, why don't this is just.
Yeah.
This is just like kind of I would say it sort of bordered on Comic-Con.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just not really. And then the second one was awesome. I'll take you to a good one.
Okay.
That would be fun.
That actually made me think. The thing I don't like about burlesque is that essentially the participants of burlesque, they're kind of nerdy. Right?
But that's fine. I like that.
No, it's
Give them
fine.
A place.
I'm nerdy myself.
Yeah.
But
you don't want to see yourself reflected in nightlife.
I don't.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. You're saying you go out to see people who are not like you're trying to escape your reality.
I don't want to talk Funko Pops with anybody. When I go out, we're escaping that. This is my escape. You know what I mean?
You're trying to throw some money.
I'm trying to throw some money.
You're trying to get danced on. You don't want that person to turn to you and be like, Rick and Morty's crazy.
Yeah. You don't want to do that. You know, treat it like a strip club. You know, everyone just silent.
Very interesting. So a Simpsons themed burlesque party.
Okay, let me read this. My boyfriend and I.
You go ahead, read the whole thing out loud.
Okay, yeah, because you rudely stopped me.
Well, I'm sorry. I couldn't help but think like Mo, but with big tits. You know what I mean? That's.
I'm gonna say this: the Simpsons theme, but it just doesn't. Okay, let me just read this.
Yeah,
my boyfriend and I were gonna go to
and I don't believe this, by the way. What I'm about to say, I don't believe it. But my first impulse when I heard Simpsons themed burlesque is like, this country used to go to war.
We used to be a real country.
Keep going.
We used to be a superpower.
This country used to go to war. Women had to take over factory work while we went through the trenches.
It all fell apart after Nam. That's that'll get us demonetized.
Not wrong.
Yeah.
But keep going.
Okay, so my boyfriend, dude, this is so funny. I'm sweating profusely. All right, I'm gonna continue. My boyfriend and I were gonna go to a Simpsons themed burlesque party, but we got into an argument. Should I go without him?
Oh, Oh, it depends what character you are. You don't want to be a Marge without a Homer, right?
Yeah.
You do not want to show up as a Marge, because that's gonna listen, you and your boyfriend get into a little argument. Why do you go out to the burlesque? Because you're trying to feel sexy again, like he's never made you feel before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're trying to feel sexy like he hasn't made you feel in years. That's why you go out to the Simpsons burlesque. You put on that yellow paint through the tears. You put on that weird multicolored, or I think it's purple, that weird purple tube dress.
Yeah.
You know, and you're thinking of all the references, because there's 40, 50 years of Simpsons references that you need to remember, because there's going to be some real freaks at that party. There's going to be some absolute never been outside freaks at that burlesque party. You want to be able to have a tete-a-tete with them. You want to be able to have a little verbal back and forth. Who's your favorite?
Yeah.
What did Bleeding Gums Murphy mean to you? You know what I mean? That's the kind of conversations you want to be having. If you're going as Marge, the people at that burlesque show are going to take pause, because they will think there is a Homer in tow. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
You don't want to show up as a Marge without a Homer, because people are going to think, oh, there is a Homer in tow. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, if you're going as Barney, go burp on some guys. They'll still talk to you.
Absolutely.
That's how we roll.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm just thinking about this is no offense. We love our followers. This is like, we're going to keep this close. This is like one of those things where it's like, oh, I'm gonna keep this with the day ones only.
Yeah. Hey, no one let this one out. Okay,
yeah.
But
I mean, my opinion.
What kind of an argument are you getting into before the Simpsons themed burlesque party?
That is all I've been thinking.
I was gonna be comic book guy. I was supposed to be comic book guy.
I don't know, dude. I mean, yeah. I hope everything's okay. I mean,
it's not.
Yeah, go without him.
No, I've had situations like that. Like, I've had arguments with partners at like frivolous times.
Yeah,
where it's like silly to have an argument.
Yeah. Yeah, true. And I think with this, if you're going to like a Simpsons themed burlesque party, the other side of the token is maybe you shouldn't go.
Yeah.
Just because it's
I know, I completely agree with you.
That's just something you got to like share with someone,
Yeah.
That's not the strip club.
No one at the Simpsons themed burlesque party is going to have the courage to talk to you.
Yeah.
They do not. They're not going to have the prerequisite amount of social aptitude to go up and talk to you.
Yeah, you got to pair up. Don't go. Solve the argument, but just don't go to the Simpsons.
Solve the argument. No, I remember one time we were doing like a really friendly Zoom. So this is during the pandemic. Me and a then girlfriend were doing a Zoom writing room with two of my friends. So it's two of my friends and her and me. And it's supposed to be like a really fun, silly, we're sharing our ideas, but it's mostly just like a hangout, right?
Yeah.
And to completely, I don't take offense to this. It was just I was being sensitive in the moment. They started to kind of make fun of me, because when there's a person in the group that everyone knows, it's like, to make a connection, it's good to just make fun of that person.
Yeah. And you're a perfect person for that.
And I understand that. I understand I'm a perfect person to make fun of in a group setting. For that day, I was just sensitive. And I got like so like I start kind of being like, because I can't fully be like, hey, this is hurting my feelings, because I'm a coward. So instead I'm like, yeah, let's get into the writing, guys. Like, which just made them go harder. So we got into like a legit argument. And it was just brutal. But yeah, I've been there. I understand. Sometimes you're going to get into an argument on the way to like that fun little beach day. Sometimes you're going to get into an argument on the way to that, like, oh, we're going to go ironically see Flubber in theaters. Like, arguments can just come up. And when the more frivolous the situation, the tougher it is to have the argument.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, this question threw me for a loop.
I liked it.
This is amazing.
No, this is the kind of questions I want. This lets me both understand you better as viewers, and it also helps me understand myself, I feel.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think me and Terrence are both on the don't go side of things.
Yeah, do not go.
Do we got anything else, Terrence?
Right here. This is a universal one right here. There we go. All right. So from Bates.
Yeah.
How the hell am I supposed to meet new friends?
Terrence, when you've been in a lot of new situations, right? Like you've entered situations and you're kind of the new guy.
Yeah, of course.
How do you deal with that?
That's a tough one. I mean, it's hard to explain. I mean, I guess don't force it.
Don't force
it. Our friend Daniel, my roommate, he forces it. He forces it.
Interesting.
You know, and he is like the worst. As far as first impressions, he is the worst. I've seen a whole room turn on him within 2 minutes of being in the room.
What is forcing it?
Just like trying to forcefully insert yourself in the conversation.
Dude,
sometimes
I do that. I've done that.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, I like this is just telling you stuff to avoid. We'll get into stuff that you can do, but a thing to avoid is definitely that. I have on so many occasions been in a room with a bunch of new people, and my first impulse is not how do I get to know these people better?
Mm-hmm.
My first impulse is how do I impress these people by saying something smart or funny?
Yeah.
Brother, if you're not already, because you need to, it's a wave.
Yeah.
Every new social setting is a different frequency. You got to learn to ride the wave. But if you go in there and you're like, oh no, I'm just going to go on the surfboard right here, you're going to get smacked.
Yeah. It's mostly, I guess if you're asking me, I just observe. I just listening. That's the first part. So you don't want to force yourself. Just kind of sneak in. Not even sneak in, just like inch in.
You wanna stand 5 feet away from the conversation like this, and you just kind of go.
No, you don't do that.
To the stuff people are saying, you just kind of like nod, and you have like a weird look on your face. You go, so you're not entering the conversation, but you're saying things that people can like vaguely hear. So you're just over here, and you're like, yeah, I agree with that.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's right.
The first step is just listening. No, they'll catch that you're listening to them, and when they say something, or just say, "Hey, I'm sorry for intruding. I'm Terrence. I was just listening to you guys. I hope I'm not a bother." Just stuff like that.
You gotta sneak. I actually like your first thing. You gotta infiltrate that friend group. You have to look at yourself as an insurgent spy.
No.
And you need to think, how do I subversively enter this friend group? And you're going to need to use a lot of tactics. You're going to need to use deception. You want to make up a lot of stuff about yourself, okay? And you just sneak your way. No, but and also before you move to a new one, let me just say something. Ask questions. Because when you're nervous, you usually don't ask questions. When you're nervous, a lot of the times you can go into like verbal diarrhea, and you're just kind of like going ba 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 ba. Asking questions is a really, really, truly solid way of A, taking the social pressure off of you, and B, getting to know these people, because like that's what you should be focused on, is like you learning who these new people are. Because maybe you don't want to hang out with them. Maybe you ask them a guy some questions, and you're like, oh man, this guy's got, all he's doing is talking about sinks.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to this guy. He's just talking about sinks.
Yeah. And actually, with this question here, how is supposed to meet new friends? I mean, that's a multifaceted question.
Absolutely.
There's like getting into making conversations with someone, or like, say, getting like a hobby. That's kind of a broad question there. As far as that ends, as far as like getting hobby and having like a group of friends, say if you like move to a new town or something, that's pretty tough.
Yeah.
Usually I think there's like group meetups or something like that. Or you could just take like an old hobby that you had when you were like a kid.
Or yeah.
Yeah. Like
that's a cool idea.
Like if you were into comics, or funny thing I was into picking locks as a kid.
If Folks, that is a great way to meet new people who do not want to meet you. Yeah. Hey, folks, if you're lonely, learn how to pick locks. Then you can just kind of enter any social situation you want.
Absolutely.
Even ones you're not invited to.
Absolutely.
You can sort of just enter a church at any time.
Like a shadow, dude. Like goddamn.
You were into picking locks as a kid?
Yeah. I was into like weird stuff like that.
Damn, that's really funny, dude.
Yeah. Or yeah, it is. But improv. Dude.
Oh yeah.
Improv. That is like one of the, if you're from a new town or you're just trying to make new friends, improv is guaranteed.
Yeah.
You cannot go wrong with improv.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. It has like a corny reputation, but guess what? If you're trying to meet new friends, that's one of the corniest things you can possibly do. And I'm not saying that is a bad thing. We're all corny at times in life. And I think it's time you need to embrace the corniness that you have, and you need to embrace the fact that you're in a corny situation. And it's like there's nothing suave or cool about being like, can we be friends? But you need to do that in life.
Yeah.
There is necessary corniness that you just need to be comfortable with.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So go to improv or learn picklocking or some weird thing and connect with people on forums. That's the best way to make friends. That's how I made friends.
Depending on the forums.
Yeah, depending on
folks,
the forums.
we're going to go ahead and say a real big Danswers disclaimer. Depending on the forums.
Depending on the forums.
Depending on the forums. You got something else to throw in there?
Let's throw this one up here.
Throw it up there.
Let's throw this one. So from Miss Hale, should I say bye to people that don't care for me before I move and have my son?
Oh, well, you know what? I actually want to get into a bigger topic from this, because this is actually a really interesting thing. So quickly, to answer your question, if you really feel like they don't care for you, no, you don't have to say bye. Unless like there's some necessity, like, I don't know, if they're like your boss and you want to get hired again or something like that, maybe then you say bye. But if not, no, you don't have to say bye. When I leave a party, I've gone through such a big cycle with this. When I used to leave parties, I wouldn't say bye to anybody because I didn't have the social understanding that was a thing that you should do, right? I would just like go. And then I saw my more socially adept friends say bye to people when they left parties. So I kind of went, oh, I should start doing it. So I started to do it. And you know what? It felt good at first. It felt great at first. I was like, I'm really getting it. I'm really getting along with people. People understand. You can say bye and they look at you and they go, oh, bye. And now, dude, I'm right back. I'm right back to just leave.
The Irish goodbye.
You know what? I'll send a couple texts and be like, yeah, I just had to go. But
why?
Dude,
just say bye.
No. Listen to me. You don't understand. The wash of relief you get when you leave a party without saying goodbye to anyone, it feels like you won the lottery. It feels like you got away with a bank heist. That's the feeling of excitement. It feels like you just Ocean 11'd that party. You're walking out of that party. When you walk out of a party without saying goodbye, it's like you walked out of a party with $1 million.
No.
Yes.
What are you talking?
Dude, it feels so. And you get in your car and you just drive away because you just realize, oh, I can just do that. I don't get detention. No one's going to come to arrest me. I can just do that if I want. It's great.
No, just say bye. See, this is the reason why people make fun of you. Just say bye.
It's worth it.
Just say what I do. I just before I'm out the door, I just be like, "Yo, peace out." Hey,
I might throw one of those around, but that's about as far as I'll go most of the time. Especially if I'm around people that I'm not like 100% comfortable around. Oh, I'm throwing. Maybe I might even just walk away, peace sign behind the shoulder. Maybe someone saw it, maybe they don't.
Dude, that's so disrespectful.
Hey,
that's so disrespectful.
See, when you move like a Sigma male though, you don't really care about that sort of thing.
That's not Sigma male movement.
It's kind of Sigma male behavior.
That is autistic thinking. I'm just gonna say it.
And I don't condone that. I don't condone you saying that.
What?
I don't condone you saying that.
We gonna get demonetized?
Yeah, we might.
Oh,
you should get your whole life should get demonetized for that.
I'm a little.
You know what? Freeze Terrence's bank account.
Oh no! Look, just in my defense, I'm a little bit. I have a touch.
Yeah,
of the,
you've been told by a professional or two that you might be a little bit on the spectrum.
I really have. Did I mention this before? As a kid, they thought I was autistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I beat the Chargers, baby.
So it's not beating the Chargers,
baby.
Do not say you beat the Chargers.
See, right here. He's not wrong, Dan. Thank you, Miss Dawn. Thank you so much.
throw something else in the chat.
Let's see here.
Oh, that one right there.
Right here?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, hey, from Miss Moore. How you doing? But how do you handle loving your family who has opposing political beliefs?
It's a great question. It's a question a lot of people. You know, it brings me back to the show in Huntington Beach. You know what I mean? Because that guy, the Let's Go Brandon guy, that's someone's grandpa.
Yeah.
Or someone's uncle. Definitely someone's uncle.
Yeah.
It's 100% someone's uncle. I look at it like this, and I think people have this because the word political beliefs, quote unquote, are very. It's such a broad term, and it's an unfortunately broad term because it ranges everything from what kind of legislation should be put in to determine how much water you should be allowed to use in a household to which water fountain you should be able to drink. And people will use both of those as like, well, it's political. It's like, well, if you're arguing about like someone's validity as a human being, that's a little bit more than a political argument.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But people will still say like, oh, it's a political difference. I would go ahead. This is the way I look at it. If your political differences are something that you think are more in terms of like that legislative thing, I think people should have healthcare, right? I think we should be working to make healthcare as cheap as possible and hopefully like eventually free, and then use tax money to pay for healthcare because the overall burden of society would be much lessened if we did that, right? Now, there's people who disagree with that, and there's people who are very smart who disagree with that, right? People who are way smarter than me disagree with that. I'm not gonna throw you out of my life for disagreeing with me on that point. Now, if there's something that's close to my soul, then that's where things kind of get a little, a little freaky deaky.
Yeah.
What do you think, Terrence?
I don't.
I'll say this about you. Can I say this just to? I feel like you are very open to people who have a very wide range of beliefs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even beliefs some would say are like, and not to say you condone their beliefs, but you're able to very easily communicate with people whose beliefs many would consider are negative.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just you shouldn't. In some ways, it's hard. My dad's a cop. So like I'm used to this. I'm used to my family fighting about serious stuff. And it's just like I take solace in the fact that the politics that we're seeing today, it's like psych-op-ish. It's just like it's not that important.
But it makes it, unfortunately, people will take it to the nth degree where it does become important, right?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't like on the face of things, it's like, oh yeah, who cares like who's promoting products or what, like, but then it becomes this thing where it's like and stay away from my kids and stuff like that. And like that's where it kind of gets a little bit loopy, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, it's your family.
Yeah.
It's blood. You got to care for them. For me, who cares? Like it does, like the argument is going to end. They're gonna like wind down after 10 minutes, and then you guys can talk normal stuff. And just it's
and also never forget, you don't have to hang out with your family. Okay? Depending on how close they are in the family and whether or not you are out of the house, you don't gotta. You know what? I'll go as far as to say it doesn't even need to be a political disagreement. You can not hang out with your whatever third cousin because he smells weird.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. The nature of politics is just chaos. It's constantly changing. So just don't get anything to heart. There's going to be something to fight about in a year and a year after that. Just just talk to him. Who cares?
Yeah, but on that note, though, if I've got someone who's like my family, who's my blood, who's saying stuff like, the Third Reich had some points, I'm going to not.
That's going to get us demonetized.
I'm going to not hang out with that guy.
Just, just hear him out.
No. That's where the whole like doesn't matter what your politics are get together, because like politics is such a broad term, unfortunately. And I think I'll say this because I actually watched a longer documentary about this. The whole idea of like we should be able to have civil debate and we should be able to sit down and debate with each other and stuff, that can be co-opted by very negative people, like people who have very negative opinions, to try to validate their like clearly bad. And I'm not talking about bad opinions like the healthcare thing. I'm talking about bad opinions like people want to take rights away from other people based on their gender or race or stuff. Like, but people who have those opinions are like, well, let's just have a civil debate about it. It's like, no, no, I'm not gonna have a civil debate about like whether or not someone else's life is valid.
Right.
That's stupid.
Right. Yeah. It could be. I mean, I don't know. My perspective, I don't have strong, like most people, politics is not a part of my life. I mean, it is a part of my life, but it's not the end all be all. I think with that question
as soon as there is Xanax legislation in the White House, Terrence is going to really take up some political banners, some causes.
Yeah. Dude, I am I am running at 150% right now. But like, don't make politics your identity. If just don't, it's nothing. I mean, I get it. I get what you're saying, but just sometimes how I deal with crazy people with wild beliefs, I just listen to them. And then eventually
I'll say that
they calm down.
Yes, I'll say that can be a really, if you're forced in a situation with someone who's talking absolutely out of their mind.
Yeah.
If you want to because a lot of the times that combative energy that's coming your way is like intentional, like they want
they want to fight. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Don't give them that fight, a lot of the times it can kind of disarm the situation.
Yeah, of course. So I mean, love your family, man. That's blood, bruh. That's blood.
I tend to agree with you, and I do think it's unfortunate that things are so polarized right now that families are kind of being torn apart in a way. But
I just want to pop this up real quick.
Oh my God, read it for me. I don't want to even read it.
Terrence, you're soft. The Black conscious community will call you terminal soft. Okay, what does that mean?
Okay, can I say something here? Yeah. In light of our recent conversation about political,
tread lightly.
And I just want to say this right now. Terminally soft is a really funny expression.
It is. I'm soft as hell, man.
Terminally soft is very funny. I don't think it's accurate to describing you.
No, I'm soft. Bro.
I'm keeping terminally soft in my back pocket.
It's terminally soft.
I think it's good to be soft.
It's soft. I'm soft. I'll call the police. I will never swear up.
Dad? Ring, Dad.
Yeah.
You've been calling the police your whole life.
Oh, bro.
You were calling the police to pick you up from soccer practice. Yeah.
I have a joke where like I was like, I love calling the police. It makes me feel like I'm doing an airstrike on Call of Duty.
I will say, I mean, I do think people call the police way too much, and that must be annoying for the police too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God, like
I just called to say what's up.
I was at a store, and at the store, two guys were just having an argument over like who got the last box of something, right? and a woman who was unconnected to either man was off like to the side, like maybe 10 yards away, but like looking and on her phone. And as I walked, I realized she was calling the police.
She was soft snitching.
Two guys were having a disagreement, and not like a violent. They were just like, "No, man, I got the box."
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And this woman is over there like, "Hello, please come help."
No, I'm the biggest bird. What are you talking about?
Two guys were arguing about who the biggest bird was.
I'm the biggest bird.
That is a very important argument to have. But
black I don't. What is the black conscious? What is it? Just being aware of being black?
There's a lot of satchels in it. I'll tell you that.
A lot of satchels.
There's a lot of satchels.
A lot of twisties.
A lot of twisties. A lot of satchels.
A lot of beginners. We're beginning our dread journey. Is that what the black conscious community?
By the way, this person who we do know and love very much is a white woman.
Absolutely.
Which is, it is what it is.
Who has, and I remember this, dated two Rasta men. Two Rastafaris who probably weren't Rastafarians. They were just very eccentric black dudes. Like just two black dudes who were just really into like old Outkast. You know what I mean? That's what I'm reading.
She's like, no, he loves Rasta stuff like a Quemini. Oh man.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
That's very, very funny. Terrence, find something else to throw in the chat. I forgot to do the mid podcast announcements, but I just want to let you guys know you can check out my link tree. It goes to ticket links and it goes to all my other stuff, and you can get stuff like cameos on there or whatever. And then Terrence's. You
can get my sweat.
Yeah, you can buy Terrence's sweat in little vials online.
The sweat.
We should start. Listen. Now, I'm going to allow you to pull up some new questions, but I want to say something about this podcast while you're doing that. Me and Terrence have been doing this podcast together for about 3 or 4 weeks now. And I got a question, Terrence, because I don't really know why aren't we millionaires yet? I mean, we've been doing this podcast for 4 weeks, and most of the time it's pretty loose, as many would say, and we've also said some like relatively kind of off-putting things.
Absolutely.
Now, why aren't we famous yet,
man? Because we're not grinding hard enough, dog.
Yeah, this is where the point I wanted to get to. Me and Terrence, we're going to have to start kind of doing some things that some of you listening to the podcast might see as unsightly for the so me and Terrence are going to have to start getting into beef with other very popular podcasts, because that's what you have to do. I don't know. This is going to be a little inside baseball for the listeners. To be successful online, you need to have what's called beef.
Absolutely.
Which is where you argue with another person who is also stupid. That's what beef is.
Oh, yeah.
Beef is when you're having an argument, but both parties are stupid.
Just let your ignorance fly.
You let your ignorance fly. And we're going to do that. So I'm actually going to start, so because the Nelk boys already have a lot of beefs, so we can't go after the Nelk boys. Joe Rogan has a number of beefs.
He can kill us.
He could kill us.
He can get us killed.
And Brendan Schaub, he has obviously a number of well documented beefs. So we're going to start beef now.
Oh yeah.
Michael Barbaro.
That's right.
Of NPR.
We're getting there.
We're coming for that ass.
It is over, dog.
Michael Barbaro. You know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do this. And I know I've done this before on the podcast. I've selectively called people out for celebrity boxing matches. Michael Barbaro, meet me in the ring.
Meet me in the ring, bro. It's over, bro.
Come get these hands, Michael Barbaro.
Come on, let's slide. Let's slide.
You're just such a nice millionaire. Who cares?
Hey, he ain't going to be nice.
Yeah.
It ain't going to be nice.
Yeah, it's nice. My hands, dude.
It ain't going to be nice on Friday, November 13th.
Not going to be nice on your chin, brother. All right, when I start raining. Yeah, hey, go put your boxing gloves in the tote bag when I'm done with you, buddy.
That's right. Live on DSN. Okay. Okay, here we go.
Hi, I'm Michael Barbaro, and I'm about to stomp Donahue's ass.
I'm about to catch.
This is the daily. Okay, go ahead, throw something in there.
All right, here we go.
Can I say something before we start this?
What's up?
You've been doing such a great job with the questions. You've really improved.
Yeah,
you really have. Truly.
Thank you.
Okay,
nice. Nice. I mean, I think yes, thank you, but also we've said wild things, and
I don't think so. I don't think we've said anything. You've said wild things.
I have.
I've been
Yes,
pretty balanced, I feel.
absolutely. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Go ahead, Terrence.
All right. So my question is this: do you suggest going with a pros and cons list when making a big decision, or just going with your first gut reaction?
I'm gonna say this. I'm a staunch anti pros and cons person, because when you make a pros and cons list, I think a lot of the time you are going to end up weighing more heavily on the decision you want to make and not necessarily the decision you should make or the decision that's best for you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you? Like,
yeah.
when you're making a pros and cons list, I think you're subconsciously going to put more pros for the thing that you want to do. Now, I don't necessarily think gut react. Although I'll say this, gut reactions are usually decent.
Yeah.
If it's something that you have a prerequisite knowledge of. Now, I think a gut reaction for something that you don't really know about, that you're going to probably want to sit down with and think about. But if it's something that you're confident in, right? Like, comedy is kind of a bad example. Like, I won't say on stage, but I'll say this. At this point, because I've been doing it for like probably 7 years, coming up on 8, and then probably 6 in LA, 5 or 6 in LA. I have a really good gut feeling of when a opportunity is legitimate or not. I've gotten really good at which it's mostly not. Whenever someone is messaging like, "Hey, I got this show I want you to do. I got this whatever I want you to do." My gut reaction to that is good because I have prerequisite knowledge. So you just need to think, is this something that you have experience with, the thing that you're trying to make a decision with? And if not, then I think it's going to be a good idea for you to maybe sit down and maybe not a pros and cons list, but to really just kind of mull it over, talk to someone who does have more experience in the area.
Yeah, just meditate on it. And like I said, it depends on the situation. There are some things in life that you just have to do. Like me coming to California, just something I did. And I'm just in California. Or it's like, I think with like the pros and cons, usually when people do that, it skews towards not doing it. Because especially if it's a scary decision, all of a sudden you're going to have more cons than goods, and then you kind of just psych yourself out of it. So I'd say recognize your gut feeling. Just recognize your gut feeling, and don't do the pros and cons list. Just if your gut feeling, just be in touch with it and just go with that. That's your pros and cons right there.
You're a gut kind of guy.
Absolutely, man. That's how I survive out here in these streets, bro.
Yeah, it is true. You are still out here.
It takes a second, bro. All it takes is my PTSD is acting up right now, bro. I can't even talk about it.
Oh yeah, we were in the car and your PTSD was triggered by Motown.
Yeah.
Which is really unfortunate.
Yeah, I think you guys know I like Motown. I love the Temptations, I love classics, but you know how some things it's just tied to a memory.
Yes.
And listening to Motown, the memories that come to my head is just hanging out with my grandma who was on heroin.
Yeah.
And which is not bad. It's nothing crazy happened. It's just like, oh, we're just gonna hang out. This sucks.
I mean, but imagine how much fun she was having.
She was having so much fun.
You know what I mean? It's like, my grandson's here.
Yeah, I'm so happy.
I got a bag. I'm listening to the Delphonic. That might have been a little after Motown. I'm not really sure. I think that was post Motown.
Listening to the Condors, bro.
Oh, dude. I saw Lionel Richie live.
We did talk about it. Yeah. But yeah. Go with your gut reaction. That's from us.
Two guys who are wildly unsuccessful.
Oh, I accidentally put this in. Dan, why are you so cute? This is wrong.
No, you know what? Because these comments will come up from time to time, and I think I will address it. I'll address the allegations.
Just the allegations?
The cute allegations. I mean, listen, I've done a lot to get here. You know what I mean? I spent about 3 hours on the hair this morning. Spent about 4 hours doing hot yoga. So I appreciate it. You know what I mean?
Well, and no one's asked me why I'm so
Terrence,
cute.
you're so cute.
No,
you are so cute.
It's not coming from no.
You're cute.
No,
you gotta get outside a little more, but you're cute.
What do you mean I gotta get out? What does
You
that
just gotta
mean?
get outside a little bit
What
more.
does that mean?
Like I feel like if you presented yourself more to the public,
dude,
more people would be like, you're cute. You know what I mean?
All right, sound off in the chat.
Yo, sound out. Everybody in the chat, tell Terrence he's a cutie pie.
don't do it. Please don't do that.
Go ahead.
Okay, I popped this in here. Mr. Fari, only in
Oreo.
Oreo.
Now you're getting into a personal confrontation with this person. Which I'm going to go ahead and allow.
This is my auntie, bro.
Yeah, go ahead.
Only in Oreo. Look, I don't want no beef. I don't want no beef. I just accidentally put
that. Oh, you did it. You did it again. You know, no, we have to keep this up just to punish you for your ineptitude at using the chat board.
Yeah, guys. I'm trying my best here.
Well, actually, if I may, if I can take this one.
Okay.
Shut up.
No, don't say that.
Shut up.
No. Because what I only look, only an Oreo could hate Motown. You are absolutely right. I love metal. I love hardcore. I love hiking. I love my credit score is pretty bad right now, but I'm working on it. Okay, I'm very diligent. Diligent. No, don't guys, don't. Okay, I'm gonna hide this. I'm done. Oh my goodness, but yeah, I'm an Oreo. We all have to each its own.
What does that mean to you though?
It means nothing.
Yeah, it means nothing.
It means I don't know. I've gotten that for years.
But can we talk about it for a second?
Yeah.
What is that? When you hear that, like what does it mean exactly? Because I understand like basically what it means, but I do.
Yeah, it just means like you don't have the aesthetics of a black person, right?
Of like the cultural concept of what.
Yeah.
Which is
and it does throw people off for a loop, and I get it because this is one of the complaints they have about black Republicans.
Right.
Like whatever, but like they just sound bizarre.
Yes.
Yeah. So like that's the type of that's the type of thing that I get where just people are just they're so confused that they're like, oh, what? Oh, okay, let's reset the palette,
right.
You know?
Yeah, I mean it is one of those things where I think it's a hard conversation for people to have, but it is also just like, shut up.
No, it's fine. I love it. It's great.
It's just like if you don't like them because they're Republicans, don't like them because they're Republicans. It's like, I don't know.
No,
we only have time for one more because the
Yeah. Okay. So we got this right here.
We might not even have time for this. Actually, the camera's dying.
Oh, guys,
folks, we might post this one just to punish ourselves. But we do apologize. We were both out of sorts for this pod. Thank you all for listening. We do appreciate it. We will have the better equipment next podcast. We will both be in better places next podcast.
Yeah, so it'll be much less chaotic. This has been the most chaotic.
But that's fun.
It's very fun. It's very fun.
But yeah, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all. Have a good one.
All right. Peace out, guys.